So hi, my name's Rob Clark. You are on LA Carbon Fibre TV, and these are my cars. This is my 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. I've driven a lot of cars, like the competitors to this. Don't do it for me. I mean, the Alfa, it's a rare car. A lot of them are red, a lot of them are white. I'm a blue car guy. So Misano blue, that was on my must-have list. Carbon front splitter, it's active aero. At speed when you're driving in the right modes, the front carbon fibre splitter pops down and gives you more stability. The bonnet, you can't see it from the front end, but it's carbon fibre. Mirrors carbon fibre, got the yellow calipers here, and I've got the optional Teddy Dial alloys. The irony is, right, that these alloy wheels, they're an option. They're actually heavier than the stock wheels, but most people go for them because, they're kind of iconic. They look like the old Teddy Dials on the old Alfa Romeo, so that was a must-have for me. So I think the back is its finest angle. You kind of see it's got the devil horn carbon fibre spoiler. Massive diffuser, the only one that I'm aware of in the UK that has a titanium Quicksilver exhaust system. The exhaust system is actually Bluetooth valve controlled. So one of the things about the quad that people complain about, and Alfa Romeo have actually literally just rectified, is you don't get all the noise unless you're in race mode. Now race mode in this car, everything's off. Kind of means that you're on your own. So what I like about this is I can drive it in any mode, but I can have the noise. When I was looking for one, the exhaust was a bit of a swing factor for me. Because the retail on the exhaust is the best part of £9,000. It's also stage 1 mapped. So this is rolling road outputted at 585 brake, but it's also got 850 Newton meters of torque, which is more than a Ferrari Pisa or whatever. It's got massive torque. So the Alfa's under warranty. It's been back a few times. It has an appetite for batteries. I've actually put AMG GTR spec Michelin Pilot Sports on the back, and it's got M4 GTS spec Pilot Sports on the front. So, the wrong mark technically, but it has transformed the car. So you can still have fun in it. You can still get in trouble in it. It's still quite tail happy, but it's not snappy and kind of unpleasant like it was on the stock tyres. So I love it. It gets a lot of attention. It goes like the clappers. It's a beautiful thing. It's quite practical. So you can go on holiday in this thing. You can drive to the shops, but you can also take it on a racetrack and I'd imagine destroy most stuff. Some people have been critical of the Alfa Romeo interior. I think it's a nice place to be. Carbon trim everywhere, carbon kick plates, carbon gear knob surround. The centre console is carbon fibre. Well, you've probably gathered by now the carbon thing for me is quite cool. I can put it in on the dial here to A, which is the advanced dynamics mode. It deactivates some cylinders. It changes up to 8th gear as quickly as it can. It's really civilised, it's really quiet. In the nicest possible way, it becomes a normal Giulia, which is a well-respected saloon car, right? You crank it up to race mode, open the valve, and it's brutal. It becomes a different beast altogether. So I'm going to show you the Lotus now. So this is a different proposition altogether. This is a 2013 Lotus Exige S. I bought a Lotus Elise R probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I loved it. But I found the Lotus Elise R had 189 brake horsepower and no torque. So on big race circuits, it just kind of didn't have the legs that it needed. It's a Series 2 Elise front end, bolted to the rear end and engine essentially of an Evora. So this is a 3.5 litre supercharged V6. The reason I went for this particular one was Nightfall Blue. I mean, it's quite a rare colour. It's a colour that was on the Lotus Esprit. So, you know, it's got like Lotus heritage. I had 1,500 miles, had been stupidly well cared for. I mean, it was immaculate. My last Lotus, I had quite a few shocking bills, but the Touchwood, the Exige, been perfect. This is more of a track car for me. No power steering. It's sublime to drive. It's got that kind of supercharger noise. It's got that kind of Darth Vader sucking wasps through a helmet kind of thing going on. I mean, like the Alfa, massive power, rear wheel drive. It's kind of very rear driven. The Lotus far more balanced, it hunkers down, it kind of deals with its power better. This one's kind of around 360, 370 brakes, something like that, because it's a little bit modded. But it just handles it so beautifully. It's on a 3,000 mile a year insurance policy. It's not a daily drive car for me, but actually I look forward to driving it. So I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged thing for me. I don't use it enough, but I look forward to it when I do. And it's got its first track day with me in a week, and I can't wait to see what it's capable of. But in terms of modifications and sort of tweaks to this, it's all the rear end really. So I've got an Alias 23 engine plaque because they go a bit manky, so that I think that through the glass looks really nice. This is a pre-facelift Exige, so a lot of the new ones they have like a louvered like hatch. I actually quite like the glass. I know the purists will go, well, it's heavy, and yes, okay, it is, but you can see the engine. I mean, how cool is that? It's kind of exotic. The stock car has like a pig snout exhaust. It's like, looks like a pig snout, and it's valved. This is a Larini system, and it's a complete system all the way from the engine. So for the techie guys, it's like manifold back, and it sounds exotic. You know, it sounds screamy, high pitched. It's not boomy and kind of, you know, like a lot of modern cars, turbocharged cars have that kind of boomy sort of DSG fart thing going on. This sounds exotic and a bit more old school, so I love that about this car. That's the sum total of your storage space. It's kind of like a squashy bag for one. There's no space in the cabin either. So the guys that are driving their Lotus Exiges as daily drives, I commend you, because I don't think I could. But as a special, you know, blast on a Sunday morning, track day, all that stuff, you know, for the money, this is like a 40 grand car. I think you're going to struggle to get better than this. So inside, compared to the Series 2 Elise I had, this is like luxury. Okay, so this has got the touring packs and the sports packs. So it's kind of got heated seats, would you believe? Aircon, DPM system, which is like an adjustable electronic diff traction control thing that Lotus developed. So you can like do race mode to make you sort of a godlike driver, turn it all off. It's got a touring mode, which kind of limits everything back and makes it a bit more relaxed. And the sports mode, which is what I drive it in most of the time, which kind of is like a 50-50. But inside, I mean, it's snug. I'm not an athlete, so it's kind of a snug fit for me. I'm 6'1" and a big lad. It's weird, I have a 3-car garage, okay? So I've got the Alfa, the Lotus, and a Ford Fiesta ST for daily. In my current financial situation, I'd probably change the Fiesta for something, but it was always the Lotus for me. I really like the 410 and the 430, but they're like 100k, you know. So I would have another Lotus, absolutely. I'd probably keep the Alfa because I love it. It's a keeper for me. And I mentioned earlier when talking about the Lotus, I love the British car thing. McLaren, I think a 720, something like that. If I could afford one, you know, just ticks the hypercar box. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see some of you soon.